Hey, look at this. I know it's not Friday, and it's certainly no Waco Motorsports Sports Friday, the best high school football show, well, ever. But with so many postponements on Friday and games moved to today, it's like a mini Sports Friday. Maybe? Let's go with it. As it's unfortunate that this is the opening game of the season and we're talking about players being suspended. And of course, you guys said violation of team rules. And that's really all Baylor would say. We did reach out to them earlier today and they declined comment, saying they will not comment on internal matters. But when it comes to non-district scheduling, nobody wants to schedule the three-time state champs Cameron Yo.
Not me.
And nobody wants to schedule a quality opponent in China Spring.
Not
Since
me.
nobody wanted them, they found each other. Sounds like a happy ending to a love story. After being unranked and then beating then-ranked Arizona State, the Aggies have a shiny new number next to them and a nice cupcake to feast on tonight. You would have needed one of these last year as the game was rained out on a Friday night between West and Clifton. But no need for this tonight. Let's get rid of that umbrella. I think I just got 7 years bad luck. This was supposed to be a Mavericks logo behind me instead of this new Space Age Clippers logo. A group of armadillos.
A group.
Is it called a group? A herd? What?
I'm going with group. Uprooted the southeast portion of the field in
No.
Calvert and made it unplayable.
Armadillo.
How does that happen?
State champs on 3, 1, 2, 3. State champs.
It's a town that prides itself on faith and football. Playing for its first state football title, but its faith was tested even before the first game of the season. On the evening of August 13th, head coach John Bechtel got a phone call from his defensive coordinator.
Coach Childers, who's probably my best friend, he calls me and tells me that his son Jonathan committed suicide. And it was pretty devastating.
When it happened, I was actually laying in bed. My phone was, going rapidly. I got up, I went straight to his house, and I mean, it's 2 in the morning. I just wanted to know I was there for him.
Some of the first people that showed up afterwards were some of these young men, and I can honestly say that these kids have done probably more for me this year and my family than I've done for them. This town, this community, it's like it opened up and swallowed our whole family in and has held us up and protected us through this whole tragedy.
His adopted son Jonathan was 15 years old. Since the incident, Childers has dedicated himself to suicide prevention, aligning with the Jason Foundation.
What we're in the process of trying to do is pass what's called the FLAT Act here in Texas. It's been passed in 12 other states, and what it does, it requires all certified educators to go through 2 hours a year of suicide awareness and prevention training. Anything myself and my family can do to prevent this from happening to another family is worth everything I do.
After everything Childers has gone through, stepping away for the season was not an option.
He taught them a lot about life on just persevering. He's still hurting. They're all still hurting. We're still hurting. Kids are still hurting. But he kept going. And so they said, well, we can keep going.
A lot of it has been faith-based, without a doubt. Had it not been for, God's mercy and God's hand on my family and this community, we wouldn't be where we are right now.
Whenever you look at him and, he's screaming at us, telling us, not bad, but, trying to get us fired up, you just want to have that extra pull, just for him, in memory of Jonathan.
Now, KWTX News 10 Sports with Jeremy Stein.
Good evening, everyone. Is there a game going on right now that has the national spotlight? Baylor, ranked 6th in the latest college football playoff poll, can make a huge statement tonight against Oklahoma as the 3-game gauntlet begins for the Bears. I can't show you highlights because that would be illegal. This one is in the 4th quarter. Baylor just scoring a touchdown to cut the Oklahoma lead to 3. Baylor trailing 37-34 in the 4th quarter. Baylor's next opponent, Oklahoma State, has all its tough opponents left at home. They host Baylor next week, host Oklahoma the following week. The Cowboys just need to get through a trip to Ames. They couldn't do it in 2011 when they were 10-0. Oklahoma State 9-0 after last week's win against TCU, but they were down in this one. 3rd quarter, Joel Lanning keeps it, scores on the 21-yard touchdown run. Cyclones up 31-21. 4th quarter now 31-28. J.W. Walsh swings it to the Temple product, Jeff Carr. He scores the go-ahead touchdown for the Pokes. 35-31 Oklahoma State. Iowa State with the ball back, but Lanning is picked off by Jordan Stearns. And Oklahoma State escapes Ames with a 35-31 win. They are 10-0. TCU coming off the loss to Oklahoma State, hosting Kansas, an easy one, right? Well, there were some issues. Late first quarter, the Frogs up 10-3. Trayvon Boykin is sacked, and that's not a good sign. He would not return, injured right ankle. Fourth quarter, TCU up 13 with a little over 6 minutes left. But here come the Jayhawks. Ryan Willis to Tyler Patrick. 10-yard touchdown pass cuts the lead to 23-17. Under 2 minutes. Jayhawks with the ball, fourth down. And Terrell Lathan takes care of that for TCU. Horned Frogs hang on and win 23-17. Texas coming off a win against Kansas on the road at West Virginia. First quarter, Texas down 7-3. First play of the drive, they give the ball to Deonta Foreman, and he takes care of everything. 65 yards for the score. Texas goes up 10-7. Second quarter, Texas down 14-10. Skylar Howard goes deep for Javon Durante, 53 yards on the touchdown pass. West Virginia wins it 38-20. Texas now 3-4 in the Big 12 and 4-6 overall. Texas A&M taking a break from SEC play, munching on a cupcake tonight, hosting Western Carolina. First quarter, no score. Trey Carson scores from 2 yards out, 7-0 Aggies. Second quarter, still only 7-0. Kyler Murray throws it up for Jeremy Tabuyo. Comes down with a 26-yard touchdown catch. The Catamounts put up an early fight, but Texas A&M wins this one easily, 41-17. To the D3 ranks, UMHB lost a conference game on the road at Hardin-Simmons. Well, East Texas Baptist beat Hardin-Simmons, so UMHB had the chance to share the ASC title today. First quarter, no score. Zach Anderson finds the mark product, Denarian Thomas, 38 yards on the touchdown pass, 7-0 Crew. Later in the quarter, UMHB up 7-6. Fourth and goal from the one. Just give it to the big boy. Malcolm Miller is in the end zone, 14-6. UMHB. Crew rolling in this one. Anderson throws to Jaron Dykstra for the 17-yard touchdown pass. UMHB wins 67-20 and a share of the ASC conference title. They'll find out their D3 tournament fate tomorrow. Well, when the high school football playoff pairings came out, this is a game that intrigued a lot of people. 9-1 West back in the playoffs for the first time since 2010, taking on a Troy team that plays in arguably the toughest 3A Division I district in the state. And this one did not disappoint tonight, especially when you have Trojans versus Trojans. First quarter, game tied at 7. West's Mason Tabola to Bailey Horn for the 3-yard touchdown pass, 14-7. West second quarter now tied at 14. Troy's Garrett Qualey breaks loose, and he says, see ya defense, 43 yards for the score, 21-14 Troy. Qualey at it again. This time he scores on the 17-yard run, 28-14 Troy, but West would score 14 unanswered in the third quarter to tie it. It would go to overtime, and West wins it by a point, 35-34 over Troy. The West Trojans will face Kirbyville in the area round. Earlier today at the same site, Academy taking on Grandview, and I'll tell you what, I hope that zebra doesn't have bad breath. Yikes. First quarter, no score. Jake Nichols rolls right, screen pass back left to Grayson Edwards, hits the sideline, looks like he's gone, but he steps out after 26-yard gain. The Bees unable to buzz on the scoreboard on that drive. Grandview takes over. Baylor commit Zach Smith, passes to Josh Nash, breaks a couple tackles, goes in for the touchdown, 7-0 Zebras. Later in the quarter, Grandview with the ball back, handoff to Austin Gerald, 3-yard touchdown. Grandview wins 56-10. Some high school volleyball scores. Robinson is heading back to the state tournament. They beat rival Lorena 3-1. The Rockettes will play on Thursday in Garland at 6 or 8 p.m. And in the 2A regional finals, Crawford beats Thrall in 5 games to make it to the state tournament. The Lady Pirates were there in 2013, and they will play on Wednesday in Garland at 5 or 7 p.m. Whew, I am all out of breath. I'm all out of papers. I'm all out of sports. We'll be right back after this.
Johnny Jefferson is in at tailback for the Bears. He gets the carry, and he's got room, and he's into the secondary.
A year after sitting behind more established stars, Johnny Jefferson took to the field as a Baylor Bear for the first time.
Sitting out last year was kind of difficult for me because I'm coming from a place that I always was the star.
Jefferson was a star at Shoemaker High School, located in the shadow of Fort Hood. But other than his senior season, his dad couldn't make it to many games because he was serving overseas.
Being a military kid, you got to understand that your parents not going to be there all the time.
Jefferson was mature beyond his years and understood why his dad couldn't be there all the time.
His junior year, he was the leader of the team. You know, the kids looked up to him, the seniors, even though he was a junior, they looked up for him.
But on the opening night of McLean Stadium, where there was a Heisman Trophy winner and a former president in attendance, most important to Jefferson was his dad seeing him play his first game as a Bear.
He don't get to see me a lot, so my mom, she always here, my brothers and sisters, they always supporting too, so whenever my family, I feel like is here, I feel like I always have to do a little bit more extra.
Jefferson, ball carrier.
Before I left for deployment, this wasn't here. And to come back and see this in this stadium on this level and to get my son, to get him out here and to get to see him play, is, you know, it's mind-blowing to me.
Second down and 10, Petty to throw again, swing pass near side to Jefferson, he's got room.
Let's go, JT. Let's go, baby. Let's go.
30, 25, 20, bumped out of bounds at the 20-yard line.
He good. Let's go, baby. Let's go.
His dad was an athlete growing up but decided to join the Army. Jefferson knows the opportunity he has at Baylor is in part to the sacrifices his father made.
When I'm playing, I look up and I see him smiling and stuff, so I'll be like, okay, I'm doing something good, because I can see, like, I just feel like he wishes that he had this opportunity.
It fills you with pride, it fills you with joy, and, you know, I know everyone can't get to this level, so we feel truly blessed.
Jeremy Stein, News 10 Sports.